edition of the Sports Horn. Couldn't help it, had to use the picture in the intro. You all know where this is going. Clint and Chris with you as always.
A lot to talk about today.
A lot to talk about. Special occasion. Final Four is now set, guys. Houston, Texas. And I'll tell you one program that will not be in attendance. The Kansas Jayhawks knocked off yesterday by the BCU Rams. That's what we got to talk about first, guys. How is this even possible, given that Barack Obama picked Kansas all the way?
I was just sure of it, that the road was paved like the yellow brick road for Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. For them to get there, I mean, they had the easiest seed after the easiest seed, and I think their head got so big that they just fell over as soon as they saw VCU, to be honest, because seriously, that is a team that they should have beat. But with that being said, we've got to give VCU a lot of credit. This is a play-in team that had to beat USC just to get in. They beat Georgetown, Vanderbilt, Florida State, and then now they've knocked off Kansas. Yeah, this team's earned everything that that they've gotten, and you've got to give this Shaka Smart a lot of credit. And I've seen on the Horn, a lot of people are already saying, making pokes, oh, I'm sure Missouri's going to want him, and all. Yeah, we do. He's a Final Four coach. I'm sorry, but if you took a bunch of guys like that and you took them to a Final Four, yeah, I would love to have that kind of guy. And maybe get a little loyalty to come with it, unlike the guy that just left for the Hog Mollies over there.
Well, Chris, I'll tell you this much. Shaka Smart has beat Kansas as many times as Mike Anderson ever did in his 5 years in Missouri. But look, this Final Four, on one side of the bracket, UConn and Kentucky, two storied programs. On the other side, VCU and Butler, one of those teams is going to play for the national title. Now, Butler was there last year.
That's like a non-conference schedule matchup you would want on your schedule, as a VCU and a Butler, and to see them in a Final Four against each other to get to the national title. Wow, I mean it's huge. You're gonna have the underdog story here for sure. My pick, UConn. Kemba Walker, to me, is the Kobe Bryant of college basketball right now. I've been saying it ever since they knocked off Cincinnati. This guy is just lights out when it comes to crunch time.
Do you really want to bet against Brad Stevens right now? This guy has Butler playing so well, winning all these close games.
To be honest, I don't know, because he looks just like you, and I usually don't bet against you. So
it means a lot.
But then well, look at Shaka Smart. He looks just like Nick Wright. So we got Shaka Smart, Nick Wright versus Clint Schweitzer, and then in the Final Four.
It's a good matchup. But Chris, seriously, this is the second year KU has bowed out to a mid-major. These mid-major teams, they're here to play. They're advancing. You can't take that away from them. But Kansas, more was expected from them. You cannot go through the tournament as a 1 seed and lose this game in the Elite Eight when they had no one to play before that. The toughest team they played before that was Illinois.
Right. Well, and
the road was paved, like you said. There's no way this should have happened. And the pictures of them crying again, I have no sympathy.
I don't either. And from a fan standpoint, maybe a little sympathy is I know what that feels like, to feel that crushing feeling. But just to see that guy with that big bird on his freaking head, and he's got this beak hanging off, and he's crying, that's funny. I don't care who you are. But Ben Johnson probably said it the best on one of the posts on Facebook, that the Elite Eight isn't good enough when you have the kind of talent pool that Kansas has, and when you have that easy of a bracket to get to the Final Four, and you do every year
Chris,
this kind of stuff.
What are you talking about, Chris? They've got football at least.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Well, and all those other sports. Maybe they'll start, as Blake Markway said, maybe they'll start supporting some of those other sports.
I doubt it. Chris, switching gears a little bit, you've seen the Final Four set.
Yes.
University of Missouri, Mike Anderson leaves the University of Missouri, goes to Arkansas. We saw that happen in the last couple of days. Yeah, do you feel the way that he left was shady, and what are your thoughts going forward?
I think he's the biggest piece of trash that I've ever seen, and the biggest traitor.
A liar. It's the lying.
Liar. The lying part's what bothers me the most. When you tell the school, not even a week before, that I'm going to retire at the University of Missouri, I have no desire to leave the school, this kind of stuff, and then but the whole time you're playing the money game, and I want more, and I want more. Yeah, sure, we won a Big 12 title, or a Big 12 tournament title, and then also got to an Elite Eight. Big deal. Does that make you get top six money in college basketball? No. And now he leaves to the Hog Mollies, and you want to know what the real 40 minutes of hell was? Watching his press conference the other day over there at Arkansas. Good riddance. I'm glad he's gone.
I'm with you, Chris. We're talking about a program that over the last 2 seasons after the Elite Eight diminishing returns. It was a program that was trending down. People were growing tired of the 40 minutes of fail because we did not recruit. Fail. We did not have the kind of recruits to run it, and that's on Anderson. We need a coach in here that wants to be here, that has loyalty to the university, and that wants to recruit a style that can compete with Kansas on a consistent basis, as hard as that is to do. Yep. And of course, Chris, right now the name we'll keep hearing, Purdue's Matt Painter. A guy that has been in the Big Ten. Do you feel that he can come in and make an immediate impact and keep this program on an upswing?
Yeah, I think he could, and I think he's a little more defensive minded. And so my top 3 candidates for the Missouri job right now would be Shaka Smart. Yeah, cliche or not, I like the guy. Okay, and then we got Brad Stevens. Do I think we can pull him away from Butler? Probably not. But you know what? We have better facilities. I don't care what they say. We've got better facilities and a better fan base at the University of Missouri than they got at Butler. And the third one is the obvious, and that's the one we were just talking about, which is Painter. So,
Well, Chris, the rumor has it, this is from PowerMizzou.com, that Missouri has made preliminary talks to Matt Painter, and they are working on a contract rumored to be $2.5 million, which, by the way, is $500,000 more than we were going to extend Anderson's contract for. Yeah. So a little shot at Anderson maybe from our administration. I don't mind that. Maybe if you're committed to bringing in a coach like Painter, you know what, I'm on board.
I am too. And, all the people that were out there blaming Mike Alden for this, that guy did everything he could to try to keep Mike Anderson here. And all Mike Anderson did was keep coming back to the negotiating table with a higher figure because, well, Arkansas said this, Arkansas said that. Finally, he said, fine, I'm taking the offer off. You go ahead and you go because that's where your heart is anyway. So I'm glad he's gone, and yes, I look forward to whatever lies in the future of Missouri basketball because I can tell you this, I don't care who comes in here, the University of Missouri is on the rise as a whole, and that's my thought on that.
Guys, we had a lot of questions from you coming from the page, yes, and we want to get to some of those, especially the ones we're not going to have time for today. We wanted to cover, we got opening day for the Royals next week.
Yes.
Jake Kenny, we're going to get to that.
We are going to
Ryan Houck asked about Mizzou spring football. Trust me, the spring game's coming up April 16th. We're going to have a huge feature about Mizzou football.
Oh, yeah. So get ready for that for sure.
And there was a girl, her name was Keena.
Keena.
And she wanted to know if she could be on the show.
Here's my thoughts on that. Keena, yes, you can be on the show. Here's what I would like for you to do if you're going to come on the show. You better have something to challenge us about. I want to know why you want to come on the show. And that goes for all Sports Horn fans. I would love to invite anybody that wants to come on the show to come, but it better be for a reason. There better be either to prove us wrong or to maybe correct us on something that we're messing up. I love that. I love our fans, and I love what we do here, and we're going to keep bringing it.
Hey, we're bringing it for guys like Matthew O'Rourke, who comes to us from Florida. He's a big Sports Horn fan. He's stuck in Florida, and he's a huge Mizzou fan. Comes to the page all the time, and he basically wanted to know how much we were going to bash Mike Anderson today. Obviously, we did that for you, buddy.
I hope we did enough. I mean, trust me, we did. On top of that, I think we're going to leave you with the note. May 21st, mark it down on your calendars, folks. Big event, Strike Zone. We are having the Sports Horn Summer Kickoff Party. There's going to be bands. We're going to be raffling off Sports Horn gear. We got tank tops for the girls, T-shirts for the guys, and we're also going to be auctioning off some things for charity, for great causes, Relay for Life, the Alzheimer's walk, and it's just going to be a huge event. So we want to see everybody out there. Thanks for joining us. Come back and see us again.